Before you scroll away, listen to me. your fear.